Speaking of toxic waste, behaviors that seem to come and go during this recovery process.
Well, these behaviors, I feel like, are just another word for defects. And I see defects as some type of a coping mechanism that you use as, you know, a way to escape the truth, escape yourself, escape your feelings, and escape what is. And it's just another form of a drug. So, the sourness is coming back. So when you're going through some shit, you know, at first, when I was writing the step, it's like I had to accept that I'm powerless over these things. Same way I'm powerless over, you know, my addiction. So I'm powerless over these behaviors, these defects, if you will, like the same way as as drugs and alcohol. And so it's just a very unhealthy, I guess, coping mechanism or whatever. There's just so many words you can put on it, but I haven't really found a great way of just putting a word on it other than, yeah, I don't know.
So, well, like earlier we were talking, because we
I was gonna finish.
Okay.
And now I lost my fucking train of thought.
My bad.
But, so...
I thought you were hitting the end of the road and I was trying to help you. Backseat drive.
Ah!
Are you biting it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, I can't talk.
I think the universe is trying to say, let him say what he was going to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, if you got something to finish.
Basically, like we were talking earlier, and you can work on things, right? You can get solid, you can get better, you can get, you know, at a great point in your recovery where you've worked on these things, you're not doing them anymore, you are staying clean and sober, and everything in your life is going smooth. Super awesome, right? Well, life happens. Shit happens. Something happens in your life that throws you off. The defects come out. The coping mechanisms. The worst part about it is that you thought that you've worked on it. You thought that you've gotten better. Apparently not. So, the real test, or not a test, but a real way to find out how much better you've gotten is in those moments. That when things aren't going smoothly. You know, like my first years, a couple of years in recovery when I did start going to meetings, like my life was fucking easy. I went to college, you know, this and that. Didn't have that much worry in the world. Like, not much going on. Other than just it being first few years of recovery, and we all know that's very difficult. But that's when I got a chance to breathe and work on myself and get to a good place. But then once life started getting hard, and it was last semester of school, senior year, fucking... then super difficult job, you know, all this shit starts coming out, and it's like, damn, I thought I worked on it all. Well, it's like, no, I mean, I have, but it just got put to a test, really. So, yeah, I'm done.
I was gonna say, you gonna let me paw too? So that's what I say to people a lot, where it's like, you know, when it's all good, it's good, and you should give yourself credit, right, for not using. Like, oh, I can make it through days that I'm not triggered. I can abstain for X amount of time. You know, when my relationship's good and my job's good and life is going my way, I can do this. I can stay sober without getting high. But it's like the moments that define your recovery are when the triggers are hitting you and it's in your face and temptation and the fuck it's come, you know, in your head to be like, all right, now my relationship's not going so good. My job sucks. You know, my life is kicking my ass and really piling it on. And I want to desperately use. Those are the defining moments. You know what I mean? Like where it's easy. It's easier not to use when shit's going good. And I don't have a life that I want to check out from. It's hard as fuck to stay clean when everything is kicking my ass, right? Same with defects, you know what I mean, that we're talking about, where it's easy to not, I don't know, be promiscuous or obscene with like women when there's not a lot of women around and my relationship's going well. And when my relationship starts to get sour and my fucking dick starts thinking, and I don't mean me, just saying, I'm not special, but I'm not talking from my own experience. You can
stop. You can just stop.
I'm not talking from my own experience right now. You know what I'm talking about.
I know.
Okay.
Just stop.
I know. It's like I'm trying to dig myself out.
You are just digging deeper.
Hi ho. So, all right. So when those things start happening, and now I have more impulses to fight off, and now I have more urges to act on my behavior, any behavior. You know, when my serenity's out of whack, when my motives aren't checked, I haven't really looked in the mirror in a while, or I'm justifying my behavior like, well, I'm not using, so it's okay that I'm doing these things, or I'm justifying it in my mind why it's okay I'm doing these things. The impulses are there and I'm giving in to them. So it's like not so much are you clean or not clean, it's are you not actively working your program? Are you not living up to these new set of standards? Because the behavior's still there in me. I mean, it's still possible for me to act all of the ways I used to act. You know, it's still there for me to get negative, petty, you know, pessimistic, spiteful. All that shit is still there. Just because I haven't made that choice in a long time, or I don't feel the impulse as often as I used to when I was bitter, angry, and using, doesn't mean I'm not still fully capable of creeping back to that choice when life starts kicking my ass. It's going to take like double the work for me to get on it. It's easy to show up to a meeting when everybody at the meeting's my buddy. It's easy to go when, you know, I'm not really feeling triggered. It's easy not to use when I'm not around the shit or people aren't pissing me off to the point where I'm just hit at every fucking corner and then all I'm left with is me, to where I'm like, why not? Because me, that's why, you know what I mean? Like, I need to stay. At the end of the day, if everything fucks up in my life all at once right now, I need to hold on to that one piece I got left, and that's me. You know what I mean? And I have to fight those thoughts and those urges to keep my spirit aligned. And I'm glad we're talking about behaviors, because it starts there. I will let all of my behaviors slip before I pick up. You know what I mean? I will start being negative. I will start being petty. I'll start lying. I'll start doing all the little things, because those are going to be the choices I make before I relapse that are away from my recovery lifestyle. If I start being okay with fucking people over, or if I start being okay with lying to my girlfriend, or if I start being okay with talking mad shit about people or trying to get one up on the next person, I'm creeping back towards the other toxic mindsets. You know what I mean? And picking up is not far behind that, because I don't like living in that type of life, you know, and that's going to be the type of shit that my consciousness will arise from and be like, bro, you know you're fucking up. Like, they say people who've got a taste of recovery really don't have a great time relapsing because all that shit's there. They know better. You know what I mean? Before, I didn't know better. I knew better, but I didn't really know better. Like, I knew to a degree, it's like, you shouldn't be using, you shouldn't be acting these ways, but I didn't know there was another way. So it wasn't like this, it was just kind of a faint, you know better, but then too much toxic mindset saying, it's bullshit. Now I know better. And yeah, kind of the same thing. Like, it's just staying in check with those things. If I'm not in check with those behaviors, one, if I never got away from them, I got to question how good my recovery is to begin with. You know what I mean? I can't abstain from drugs and think I'm living this great life if I'm still self-serving, you know, trying to prey on people, trying to get my lower vibe needs met. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I mean, if people that are not working some type of program, not looking within, not analyzing themselves in those ways, and not making those changes, they're gonna have that dry recovery, that dry drunk shit like that. And that's better than using. You know what I mean? It's better than being out there with that and using. So I don't mean to knock it, but there's also a better way when you can get on top of those things and actually live free of all those burdens. So for those type of people who actually do work on their behaviors, defects, shortcomings, and shit like that, and then they creep back to those old behaviors, those are your warning signs, man. And like, hopefully you're aware of them. And if you're not, hopefully you got people close to you to point them out. You know, and it's a hard thing to do. It's hard for me to be like, hey, homie, like, I'm seeing some things, you know what I mean? Or I heard some things. But if that person's working a program, they're gonna hear me out. Even if they don't agree. They'll be like, you know, I appreciate it. I'm good. I had to do that today. You know, and it's not nothing I had to do and nothing I fully agreed on. But it was something I was like, I'd rather say something than not, because I'm approaching this with love. I'm approaching this with a good intent to say, hey, so, you know, somebody kind of had this observation. What do you think? And they're like, I appreciate you saying something, but I think I'm good. And I'm like, cool. You know what I mean? It wasn't anything like I personally would be like, nah, you really got to hear this out. But had it been something, that person might have been like, yo, let me look more into that. What exactly are you talking about? Or whatever. They'd probably appreciate that. Just like I would. And I know me. And especially if it comes from you, I might get a little defensive at first. A little bit.
Oh, I know.
I said maybe, and I said a little. But no.
Full fucking rationalization and denial.
I mean, you know, I'm aware of that. But I always do come back.
I know.
So, that's what counts.
Yeah, I was just talking to my grandma about that today. It was just like family drama shit, and as much as my grandma is in full denial about herself, she'll come back at some points and have some points of realizations. But literally, that's funny. I just called her this morning and we were just on that topic. But yeah, I mean, you did that to me the other day about my job. And my first reaction is like, dude, you don't fucking get it. Like, I can't. Even my boss tells me to lie, you know? Because you gotta please the customer. But there would have been, I'm not trying to make excuses, but for like what I did, there would have been a lot more consequences if I would have came out about it. But, you know, and now it doesn't even matter because I fixed it. So But basically, the whole point is that was just the start, you know? That was the start of me getting comfortable with lying again.
Mm-hmm.
It was me getting comfortable with hiding. You know, not even that I necessarily lied. I didn't say that I did, you know, this is what happened. I said, I just didn't really, I just said the facts of what happened, but how did it happen? I left that out because I wasn't asked. Well, how did this happen? Nobody asked me that. You know what I mean?
You saying that's okay?
I'm not saying it's okay.
No, okay.
I'm saying what I'm saying.
Because we have young virgin ears listening. So
Huh?
I would want to break down the difference between lying and withholding. But no, like...
So what I wanted to get to at is that I, with your help, I was able to catch myself at the start.
Mm-hmm.
If you wouldn't have said what you said the other day, I probably would have kept going with it. And I probably would have kept, you know, thinking that there was nothing wrong with it. And that because it's the government, because it's this and that, because excuses,
Mm-hmm.
it's fine. But then it's like, that's where it starts, is with that first excuse. Well, this is okay because of this rationalization. And then all of a sudden, you get more and more and more. That's the same with, you know, having that first drink or, you know...
Or me trying to talk myself out of something stupid I said. I just keep digging. And digging. And digging.
You keep fucking up my train of thought.
I'm just helping you exercise your memory, babe. Oh, fuck, I did it again.
Yeah, so when you relapse, you know, it's like, well, it's okay, like, to have this. And then it's like, well, and then it just builds up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's same with behaviors. The behaviors build up the same way. It's the same concept, so.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So, yeah, no, it's like, I don't like how it feels to be unaligned with my spiritual principles, we'll say. And I'm not going to act like I'm some fucking saint where I just take every spiritual principle of the program or life in general and just run with it and you know, hit it perfectly. But when I'm aware of which ones I want and need to follow to feel good about myself, I am then aware when I choose not to make that choice anymore. You know what I mean? Like reading 4 agreements. First 4, don't gossip. You know, be impeccable with your words. So like no negative self-talk. That's the biggest one because I can take things personally on default. I can make assumptions on default. I can remind myself not to do them. You know, always do my best, blah, blah, blah. Like those other 3, I feel are kind of like, they're more autopilot ones for me because I was never a big gossiper anyway. But that one seemed like it was more of an intentional thing to where I'm not going to sit there and be like, am I going to take this personally or not? Yeah, I'll go ahead. You know what I mean? I'm just going to take shit personally and then I have to remind myself not to take shit personally. When it comes to gossip though, like that was one of the big ones early on where I would see the opportunity coming to join in on talking shit about someone or, you know, doing some negative self-talk. That one can be a little more automatic. But the gossiping alone, we'll say, talking about someone behind their back, ragging on someone, just totally giving into that low vibe, that's not good for me because I don't like it. It doesn't put me in a good place and it makes me feel weird. And I noticed like I stopped doing it really early and then I would slowly creep into like tiptoeing in the water and I would like see it. I'd be aware of the choice and I'd be like, I'll just do it this one time. It's not a big deal. I mean, I'll be the freaking saint, right? But then I'd do it it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. It's not like I'm being ruthless, but I was aware that I made the choice not to keep my new code. You know what I mean? And it really fucked with me. And it was just like, but those are learning points, because those are like, okay, you dipped your toe back in the water and it didn't feel right. So there you go. But I will say too that when I toy with that line too many times, it gets easier and easier, and it doesn't feel as bad the next few times I do it.
Mm-hmm.
I tell the first lie, ooh, that sucks. You shouldn't be doing that. But then I tell a few more, it doesn't feel bad anymore. It definitely doesn't sting like the first time at all. And then it just becomes that habit, like you were saying, where I'm getting too comfortable in this shit. You know what I mean? Like when I was in my weird relationship before, a lot of lying, a lot of hiding, a lot of withholding information, a lot of shit that I was very consciously aware of was not cool. And it got comfortable. It got to where it was just a regular thing to hide, sneak around, and lie, and it was like, who are you? You know what I mean? And, thank God, like, I kept going to meetings and stayed in touch with, like the books I was reading and things like that, because it constantly reminded me to come back. I'm like, come on, man, like, you had your fun, like, come back, dude, because this is not you, but we're not all that lucky. Like, I don't have fun playing around with that shit anymore,
I want to flip this to a whole nother crazy topic.
Let's go.
Okay, so what is the story of the fallen angel? It is...
You trying to get biblical up in this bitch?
I do.
Okay.
Because when I think about behaviors, those behaviors and using, using is just another one of the behaviors. It's just another behavior. But it's like the very, very worst one, right? And when I think about lying, cheating, hiding, stealing, all that, I think about like a very, very intense level of control, of making things your way, how you want them to be. So the reason why I bring up the fallen angel, which is Satan, right?
Is that who it is?
I think so. Fuck if I know. It's what I heard. I never read the Bible, but it was a story about an angel that, from what I heard the story was, I don't know if that's true, but he or she wanted to become bigger than God. Wanted to be stronger than God, and wanted to show and prove that. And so I know that I'm gonna sound like one of those, like, older people that are like, oh, drugs are from the devil. But it's like, those behaviors, it's almost like we become fallen angels. And we want to try to control, and we think subconsciously, we want to think we are stronger and better than God, and like, we know, like, better, and we want this to be for how we want it to be.
Okay.
So I think that the story isn't necessarily, it's like it's like a legend, a myth, whatever. But I think this happens to people, and they say Satan is walking this earth. It's just basically us just going down that path of just wanting to have that power over higher power.
Are you saying we're all different manifestations of the same satanic consciousness?
Yeah. So,
too long of a title, but
I like satanic consciousness.
Well,
Talk about clickbait.
No, I get that. I was kind of worried when you first started. I'm like, where are you going, and are you going to get anywhere? No, I dig that, because, like, that's what we do when we're in addiction. We play God. I addiction and unconsciousness. We want to play God. I know better than you. You know, my president has a bigger dick than your president. You know, fucking I know how I should feel.
My God has a bigger dick than your God.
Yep, all that. You know, I know what's supposed to be right within the world. I know what's supposed to be right within you. I know what's supposed to be right within me. I'm going to exert my power and control to make it happen. I'm going to totally lose all my fucking serenity in the process. I'm going to try to get what? I'm going to try to control my moods. I'm going to try to control my thoughts. I'm going to try to control my feelings. What? Go ahead.
No, nothing.
Oh, I thought you were doing one of your deep breath things where
No.
you're like, I got something to say.
You just broke the fucking couch.
And yeah, we're just playing God. And I, if I'm gonna go down the whole God, devil, hell, heaven road, I look at it as, because this is my experience, where it's like heaven on earth, hell on earth. My thoughts, my ego, my sense of what should be, my control, that's devil. That keeps me unaligned. It keeps me out of sync. It keeps me self-serving. It keeps me disconnected from people. It keeps me in my narrow viewpoint where I'm very limited and I just don't feel good there. Even if I am focused on me, my own shit, really good goals, but it's all self-seeking. Even if I achieve them, it just doesn't feel as good as it does to be open, free of service. You know, if I have a balance, I'm cool. I can go after my goals. I can achieve some things. I can care about myself. I can want what I want. I can go for it, but I can't go for it with that hyper focus of only going for me or going for me at the cost of someone else or the principle of being connected and aligned. So when I used to be like, you know, unconscious and an addiction, hell on earth, man, like everything sucked. Everything was dark. Everything was gloom. Everything was never enough. People weren't the way I thought they should be. I was pissed off at everybody. The world's not the way I thought it should be. I wanted to just check out. You know, if I didn't have kids, I probably would have. I probably would have just got super high or just fucking. But like getting clean and getting out of my own head and out of my own way, it was like free. Even when I was living at my mom's, or even when I was in like the backyard in the RV, or, you know, even when life wasn't really handing me shit, you know, I was like working at Walmart, living check to check. Things still weren't going my way. I'd still, you know, have my money block where I just kept getting to a point. All right, cool. And fucking new fucking bill. My car broke down or something like that. And I was still happy though. Like I was free and I was like letting go and just being like, well, I mean, I guess this is what's meant to be and I'll just keep trying to get back where I want to be. And that to me is the heaven on earth thing where, you know, it's not up to me. I don't know how shit's supposed to be. Who am I to say what's right or wrong? You know what I mean? About me or you or anybody. Now, and when I get my opinions about what you do wrong, per se, and I won't get into any specifics here, but like, I don't feel good. You know what I mean? I don't feel aligned. I don't feel connected. I don't feel free. I don't feel hopeful. I feel narrow-minded. I feel judgy. I feel restricted. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean.
Yeah. I don't, that doesn't make me feel good either. I don't get judgy of people anymore. And when I do, it's the one thing I learned. I check myself really quick. 'Cause this is like a whole different topic, but compassion has been like my bestest friend. I used to judge people so bad. I used to get gossipy. And now it's like when somebody like wants to start talking shit. I mean, there's still like certain few select individuals that I will still trigger that in me, but that's only because I see those little parts of myself in them that I have tucked away so fucking far underneath that I don't want to touch yet. I'm not ready yet. I don't want to accept them yet. So they'll still irk me. But the ones that I haven't, I mean, but anyways, not to get into the whole other, I want to keep at this heaven on earth and hell on earth thing because it's been on my mind for a while, and I feel like I brought it up on some pod topics, but it never really lasted. In hell, when you're in that hell, you know, all this is happening on earth because these concepts are very like tangible, material, humanly physical concepts. Because whatever is beyond this life, we don't fucking know. So how can we say we know? We don't know. This is just the projection of what's happening here. And I go to hell. I go to hell sometimes still. But it's a place in my head. And it's a place of where, you know, everything hurts, everything sucks, and nothing is enough. That's how I know I'm in hell. But when I'm in heaven, here, I started getting moments like that where everything is enough. And you know, if you try to do something that, you know, like, if you try to take something, take of, like, you know, like, drugs, alcohol, or if you start to, you know, get, like, a food addiction or, like, just anything, none of that can ever be enough. But when you start giving to people, when you start having good conversations with people, or you start to just, you know, just give, that is always enough of. That is the one thing it's always enough of, and that's what heaven is having enough of something. Because that's what heaven is all about. It's about just whatever it is, having enough of it. So I feel like I had more, but I'm done.
You feel like you're at a place of heaven and you gave enough?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I agree. It's just because you're when you give, you got to give true. You know what I mean? You can't go give like, okay, I went and fed the homeless. Why don't I feel better? You know what I mean? But it's like that paradox where I can give and be of service because it does feel good, but I don't do it to feel good, if that makes sense. I don't go like feeling bad thinking, oh man, I'm going to go to this meeting and share something to help somebody because I know how good that feels, and I really need to feel good, so I'm going to go with the intention to feel good, because then that's self-seeking.
That is taking.
Taking, yeah. Even if you're giving, you could be taking. And even if you're taking, you could be giving.
But if you just give for the sake of just thinking about the good of all,
just try to help the next person, you know what I mean? Even like earlier, there's someone I'm not too cool with right now, and I still want that person to be okay. You know what I mean? I'm not going to go above and beyond and break a boundary to make sure that happens, because that's not on me. But my heart is like, I'm mad at you. Like, part of me is kind of glad you're taking your leave, but I don't want to see you alone. You know what I mean? And I like that I think like that. It keeps me in a good spirit. It keeps me in the heaven. You know what I mean? Because if I was like, fuck that guy. Yeah, I'm glad he left because he's this and he's that and he did this and he deserves that. That, regardless of what happens with him, makes me feel bad. Not even because of him, because of me. I don't want to feel like that because of me. I don't want to have views on people like that. I don't want to like see someone just irredeemable, or have no mercy. I can full on put a boundary with someone. I can full on hold them accountable to their behavior. I can straight up want people to get what they need if they're I can want to see people get what they deserve if they're not aware or willing to become aware of their behavior. But I would rather see them awaken, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like even people, they can go as far, and I won't get into too extreme of examples, but like, someone who killed someone. You know what I mean? Like if there was a person, I don't think I talked about this on the pod. I think it was a meeting or something. But like if someone got in a DUI and killed someone's kid, you know what I mean? Like if it was my kid, it would be hard for me to forgive because I'm personally attached to that. But like if it was someone else, I would want them to find redemption. I'd want them to see the error in their ways. I'd want them to get help. I'd want them to make sure that they got to a place where they would never do that again. I'd want them to feel remorse. I'd want them to grow from that. Maybe even if they went and advocated at like, drunk driving seminars and shit like they have, rather than to just see them thrown in jail. Rather than to see them punished the rest of their life for it, rather than to see them in denial or just get a book thrown at them and like live down to this mistake that they made and then have everybody be like, yeah, you deserve that. I'd rather them find their redemption. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. When it's too close to me and it's mine, then yeah, I would have a harder time with that because I'd be personally invested. But I don't know why I said that, but it was just one of those things where it's like, we all need redemption, because if we all got held accountable for everything we ever did, recovery would suck for a lot of us. You know what I mean? Like, we'd all just constantly reap all the shit that we put people through, and we do. I am a firm believer we do. Karma comes back. So if you're in recovery and you're doing great and you're doing the next right thing and you've changed your life, just be aware. It's gonna come back in some crazy ways, and just accept it. Take it as a lesson, because you may know what you did, but when you feel what you did, it hits different. I knew I was these ways to people. I knew I was kind of a dick. I knew I had kind of acted some of these ways in certain areas. But when life comes back and holds the fucking mirror up and puts me in the other person's shoes in the exact way, a different type of light goes on in my head where I'm like, oh, I get it. Like, I thought I knew, but now I know, like, And I truly say thank you. Luckily it hasn't been anything super crazy that like knocks me out, but it's been humbling to be like, damn. And it's kind of a cool higher power moment for me too, to be honest, because I'm like, you motherfucker. Ooh, sneaky. You know what I mean? So yeah.
That got me thinking about my mirrors. And, the shit I did, I mean, yeah, I agree with that 100%. But I can't seem to think about every single one of them. And I think I just had a little light bulb moment, I think, because, one of my exes who I really, really hurt, I think the karma effect of it is not necessarily having those things being done onto me, but it's having the feelings. Mm-hmm. So nowadays, when I get hit with a trigger, that severe amount of pain, I think, is what he felt. Except, guys don't cry or anything. They have their other ways of, whatever. And, with him having all Earth placements, I couldn't really read what was going on ever. So, there's my baby.
I should have known you couldn't go one pod without talking about placements.
Hi! Come on!
We didn't leave you out, Molly. We saved you a
I
spot.
haven't seen you all day. So yeah, it just now hit me talking about this, because every time you talk about it, you know, I see your situation and I think about your situation, but I haven't thought about mine until now. It's pretty crazy.